Hi everyone, the Island Stacker here. Welcome to another video. Firstly, just want to apologise for lack of content. Things have been getting in the way. Life's a bit of a roller coaster, as I'm sure it is for everybody. But back today for some more Royal Mint tat. I'm sure people are already aware that today is the release of the new 2026 Sovereign. So as you can see, I've got the Royal Mint page opened up here. So I can see that some of them are still available to order. So generally the sets sell out fairly quickly. So I can see the gold proof Sovereign has already sold out. We'll look at the pricing in a moment, but I know the Royal Mint's going to make a big song and dance about this, but they have returned to yellow gold in inverted commas for the sovereigns from 2026 onwards. So they've been rose gold for the last 25 years. So people will be familiar with the sort of rose gold pinky color of the sovereigns over the last recent years. They've obviously changed the alloy composition that they're using for the sovereigns going forward, so back to the more standardized sort of yellow color, closer to the sort of 24 karat gold color of Britannia's, etc., which is good, but making a song and dance about it, making it sound like it's the best thing since sliced bread, is just marketing BS as far as I'm concerned. It's just a way of them spinning it to make it sound like they're doing something new and different when they're really not. It shouldn't. I know a lot of people don't really like the rose gold coloration of the sovereigns over recent years, so I don't know why it was changed originally. It's probably a cost-cutting thing, but going back to what the color should be when you look at the sort of older gold sovereigns from like the young heads of Queen Victoria, etc., that kind of stuff is what people would inevitably think of when you say a sovereign, rather than the sort of pinkish color. So back to the release this year. So if we have a look, we'll start with the big set, the 5 coin set, limited to 500. So as you can see, these follow the sort of standard sovereign design. There's no change in the design as far as I can see on these coins. Just the standard sovereign, obviously proof, the quarter, the half, the full, the double, and the quintuple. Pricing, however, has seemed to have skyrocketed for, I'm sure if you contacted the Royal Mint, they'd say manufacturing and gold prices have all gone astronomically through the roof, like they say every time you question their pricing. But this set last year was £6,325, I think, based on the spot price then and the spot price now. This should, in theory, cost about £8,500, based on, if you follow that logic up from last year's cost and gold price to this year's gold price, it should have increased to about 8,500, maybe just over 8,500. For it to then nearly be £10,000 is just the Royal Mint profiteering on the fact that gold prices have gone up. So therefore they're seeing a shiny penny that they can rip off of everybody that wants these coins. And it's just another way of them, I don't know, it's just profiteering, taking you for every penny that they can, while it not providing anything different or new or special in any regard. The silver one, I don't see why they started making these in line with the gold ones. It just seems like another way of trying to rinse you for money. £75 for a sovereign weight silver coin just isn't worth it, in my opinion. And these historical sets, again, as I've discussed in previous videos, they're overpriced rubbish, because you can get the coins separately for a much better price in pretty much anywhere else apart from the Royal Mint's website. So it's a bit of a con in that regard, I think. The Bullion version, on the other hand, has had quite a lot of changes. Let me find the full one. We'll have a look at that. So, gone are the days of sovereigns when I first started sacking being just over £300 a coin. As you can see here, the Royal Mint's trying to charge £800 for one sovereign. I was going to say, if you do want any of these, please do try and find them on other sites, such as Chards or Atkinson's. For those of you that have seen Backyard Bullion's video on these releases, you'll know around the pricing structure. For those that haven't seen it, go have a quick look at it. But basically, the online dealers such as Atkinson's and Chards had the proof sets anyway initially listed at a certain price, and then the Royal Mint have then decided to increase prices by quite a substantial margin based on the figures that Backyard Bullion's quoted in his videos. I think they had them, so for that 5 coin set, for example, just over, I think it was 8,000 and something, and obviously you can see the prices that are now up on the Mint's website. So they've increased their prices to be in line with the Royal Mint, which is just bad from the Royal Mint's perspective that they can't get the pricing right. Just bad in general that you expect to play one price for something, and then on the day of the launch they decide, oh fuck it, we'll increase the price just to see if we can rinse for some more money. But it's just other things that you just make you not want to buy from the Royal Mint. Okay, switching back to these Bullion coins, so you'll see that they look slightly different from a standard sovereign. So as you can see, this coin has has wording printed around the outer edge of the coin. I won't try and pronounce it, but I'm sure you can read it. Hopefully it's big enough on the screen that you'll be able to make it out, which is the motto of the Order of the Garter, which I believe has been added for a security reasons, which is fine, but sovereigns have never been or never had security features as such, because they're such a well-recognized coin. It's stuff that you generally see on Britannias, generally have the higher security features on them, which leads to the stuff that's on the back of the coin. So as you can see, this has changed massively. So they've introduced a sort of dimpled outer edge, which is similar to the sort of mottled background that you get on the Britannia, but that covers the entire back of the coin. So this kind of half mottled effect, I just don't really like it. And they've added the security sort of hologram piece down. I can't zoom in on this picture any further, sorry. At the bottom here at the 6 o'clock position, the sort of hologram that you get on the Britannias as well, which I think just detracts from the appeal of why people stack sovereigns, because it's a well-known design throughout the world. It's clearly recognizable. You know what you're going to get. And then introducing all of this other stuff just takes away from the sort of plain simplicity of the sovereign. And I'm just not sure if it's really the direction that they should be going with these kind of things. But that aside, I will try and get a half version of a Bullion sovereign in when I can. So that will go into my cousin's little collection that I've got for him. But yeah, the designs, maybe it'll look different in person. I'll have to wait and see to get hands-on to figure out if it's actually doesn't look as bad potentially in person compared to the last designs. But let me know your thoughts on the changes to the design, specifically obviously for the Bullion sovereign, and the costing as well. I know people probably well, people obviously are paying this because some of them them have been out of stock or no longer available, which I don't know if that's just dealers buying them up potentially, but £1,200 for a proof sovereign is a lot of money considering I think they were £800 last year. So that's a 50% increase year on year for something that hasn't changed. Okay, there is some slight increase in the gold price, but it hasn't justified. I don't think it's justified that kind of increase. But again, the Royal Mint just whacking prices up to make extra money to cover their big black hole that they have, making a £50 million loss last year. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the proof versions, the bullion versions, design change, if you're going to be ordering any of them, if you're not going to be ordering any of them. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, share and subscribe as always, and thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.